What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Hope everybody's having a lovely day. And with that being said, let's get into the TA. All right, guys. So we got some exciting stuff going on. All right. I'm sorry if I sound like super freaking cheerful, I guess. Yeah, sorry, not sorry, I guess. Everyone gets super freaking cheerful. All right. Let's do this thing. All right. Shout out. All right. Quick plug before we get into the video. Shout out to the Patreon members. Another SPY trade up 50% from the entry, and I will actually tell you guys what that was. That was the 390 April 21st puts bought for 486. It was a quick alert sent out this morning, but that was right as we came into 400. I jumped the gun on that just because I was at work and I had to do something, which I do have. For the Patreon members, I do have an announcement for that, so I will let you guys know tonight. I'll let you guys know in the weekend video update over there, the announcement over there. But yeah, congrats, guys. All right, congrats. If you guys are looking to join a trading community with highly profitable trade ideas, and might I add, highly consistent trade ideas. Patreon is down below. It's $39.99 a month. I did record the technical crash course yesterday, so that is the welcome video that everybody gets once they join the Patreon, and then it should invite you to the Discord. If it does not invite you to the Discord, there is a post up where you can just go click on that post and you can join the Discord anyway over there. All right, so let's get into the TA, guys. This is pretty much exactly what we were looking for. I'm not saying that I saw this massive pump in the cards. All right, but we did get pretty far down pretty quick, and honestly, if you just look back, I mean, hey, all right, I'll tell you what I told the Patrons. All right, you get a daily, or not a daily close, you get a 15-minute close underneath this trend line, and I think you see 306.30 gap fill in a hurry. Well, guess what? We bounced off that 306.30 gap fill. That would have been a great place to take profits at. And there you go. All right. Anybody got another opportunity to go short up there? And over here on SPY specifically, you can come over here to the 4-hour time frame. You can see this thing is just so ugly. All right. The fact that we came up, we made this lower high from over here. Right. So if you're looking at the broad trend, all right. So like, yes, you have like these, you got these, we'll call these sub trends. Okay, you have sub trends here, and yeah, you made your higher high there and higher low there, which told us we're probably going to come up and test this high. If you break that high, yeah, all right, I was looking for this. I was looking for 400. I was looking for the 50 DMA on the daily. Well, yeah, of course it's the daily time frame. It's the DMA. All right, the 50 DMA. I was looking for the zone of resistance on the 4-hour time frame. And yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, guys, there was a lot of resistance there that was very likely to act as a magnet. And oh, guess what? We also had trendline resistance coming in right there. So yeah, we had the trifecta of resistance spots right there. And yeah, that ended up serving as a perfect shorting opportunity for anybody who took that. But then you also got an opportunity again today, and you back tested that zone again. And guess what, guys? Now I'm gonna say right now, you definitely have a higher, you have a lower high. All right, so like, yes, you have this higher low so far. All right, so far. But guess what? You also just broke it. All right, so you have that wick there. You see, you have the lower low. All right, but I am now expecting this to be tested over here. And why is that? Because we came back up and we broke trend. All right, you made this lower high. All right, and now as long as you you make a lower low here, which you are currently as we speak, all right, then yeah, all right, it is looking very sexy to come on down to here, which where is this? This is going to be 385 to 388. Now I'm actually going to come over to the daily time frame. I'm going to show you a little something right now. All right, well, guess what? We have the 200 DMA right here. All right, and I could just show you right there, my white line, that is the 200. Oh, we could take off the 20 right there. All right. Oh, and look at that bad boy. All right, look at that bad boy. Look at right, you opened right on the 20. All right, this is something that this stopped you over here. All right, this is just I use, so you're not gonna see them over here, but on Webull I always have the 20, the 50, the 100, and the 200 moving average on my charts. And the reason I have the 20 on there is like that's my momentum No, I guess they're moving averages. I mean, I guess it's a momentum indicator. Crap. But that is my holy sweet baby Jesus, guys. Your boy is up green. I really do hope everybody's making an absolute crap ton of money. All right, guys, because we're just getting warmed up. We're 3 weeks into the Patreon. I'm gonna advise everybody, like, straight up, all right? Go watch the Mark Douglas workshop that I linked in the Discord. I highly recommend everybody watch it. It is going to trade. It's going to change your trading. All right. I got the high probability trade setups for you. All right. But I don't know. There's going to be some of these that are going to be losers. I can't say we've really had any losers so far that didn't give someone significant gains. We'll say 30% plus gains the first day. We haven't had any losers that didn't pop up like that the first day, all right? So anybody could have taken profits on them. I took a loss on Oxy, so that was the only L I ended up taking was Oxy so far, and that was because I ended up literally selling into this thing. I sold into the fear when in reality the next day it literally went back to my buy-in price. So there was that. So that was the only slight loss there, but like, hey. I'm just saying, guys, all right, you want to be applying this trade/risk management, and the only way to do that is to you got to flow with the market. All right, straight up, you got to flow with the market. So if you want a shot at flowing with the market, there you go. All right, Mark Douglas, it is in the Discord over there. You can check out the link I shared over there. There are actually a decent amount of those links that I listen, guys, I'm just going to be sharing in there like the videos that I end up watching on YouTube. I don't watch too many people, but I typically watch people for news. So I will be linking those. Those will also be in the Discord over there. All right. But back to the charts over here, guys. I'm just saying this looks so bearish. I'm going to say right now, this looks so bearish. And actually, before we go any further, I'm going to comment on this. I'm so sorry. All right. Maybe your ears got blown out right there. All right. But I'm going to comment on this. All right. So I got a comment suggesting that I should go over for any beginners here that are following along with the channel. All right. When I say I'm looking for upside or downside, all right, just note things change 24/7. Not only this, when I say I'm looking for downside, when I'm looking for rejection somewhere, when like the setup is to the downside, all right, it doesn't mean we need to fall like 10-20%. All right, I was screaming from the rooftops up here that this made no sense, and I even hedged my bets up here, and oh look, I did it literally on the last possible day, and then lost my hedge. All right, but yeah, I mean, I was calling for downside up here. I was calling for significant short squeeze upside down here. All right, I painted the scenarios very freaking, at least in my mind, I painted them extremely clear. I said IWM, if we come back over here. All right, the last time you had this right here, all right, you went, I think this was a 9% move. Okay, so a 7.5% move. Well, guys, I think we just went like 4.5% up here. All right. Oh, 5%. Like, that is a decent sized move. All right. And then guess what? In the end, you ended up coming down for a new low anyway. All right. Or it's over here. You end up coming down for a new low. This is the stuff I was open to. All right. This is what I was getting at. It does not mean this thing's going to go up forever, guys. That is the purpose of these daily updates. I will let you guys know when the information is changing. And guess what? We had all the reason to be bearish with what went down yesterday and how the charts are shaping up right now. I'm going to say clear as day. I see downside. All right. I'm not going to say how much downside I see, but I clear as day see downside, and I will keep you guys updated as we go. And I'll tell you guys what spots I'm watching for reactions. All right. And these are like, this is if you are trading using the information that I'm providing here each and every day. All right. Then like these reaction spots, these are typically the places you want to take these profits. Obviously, like, I can help you out in the Patreon and the Discord. You'll literally know where I'm doing that, all right? But, like, as far as, like, here on the YouTube channel goes, I can't physically, like, hold everyone's hand like that. So I'm sorry, guys, if people, like, are misreading what I'm saying here. But I think, at least, I've been extremely clear about my, we'll say my projections, all right? And I don't really want to have expectations, but I guess also I've been pretty clear on my expectations, all right? And right now, I told you guys in yesterday's video, we have a fat topping tail. All right, so we have a topping tail that literally came up here. We have a divergent high on the daily time frame over here on the CCI. And then we also now have a bearish divergence over here on the CCI. all right, on the weekly CCI. We had the increasing buy volume over here, which suggested we were going to make a higher high. So buyers were going to bring you up. This was the case on everything. It was the same over here in the video, which is why I hesitated on getting into my short position, all right? Well, luckily, you know, that ended up working out, all right? Again, shout out to the Patreon. Anyone who ended up taking second half of their position on open with me, there you go, right? You were up a pretty decent amount as well. I'm just gonna say, guys, the video is probably going to truck, okay, to the downside. This thing is like, do you see this? All right, we're gonna come over the weekly time frame here, and this thing, and I'm just gonna show you the market cap right now. So we have 661 billion over here, and then I showed you guys the same thing over here with Apple, right? We were getting this weekly breakout from this inverse head and shoulders formation. All right, you got that going on right there, which I could be misreading this. Maybe, maybe this isn't a pattern that's going to be respected at all. But guess what? All right, like if you get the weekly close back underneath this zone right here, that's the neck that I'm using as the neckline. I'm just gonna say, like, no, I think this suggests we now have downside on, like, completely on the table for further upside, like decent downside. All right, and like I was just pointing out in a video over here, this is a big boy. All right, you come over here to SMH, and this thing literally ended up putting in a divergent high today, along with what I just showed you on the video. Now you come over here to AMD. And AMD does not have a divergent high, but it does have its CCI and stochastic riding high in the sky. And you can see that RSI over here is just peeking its head up into the overbought territory. Over here, you had a rather decent sell-off here. So peak to trough was a minus 18% move, all right? So if we were to hold that peak, yeah, we're coming, this whole last week's move, that's what we're going to get back here on AMD if that is going to be the case. And then we're going to go up higher. But I don't think that's going to be the case. I don't think you have this pullback and then continue higher. You can, all right? I told you guys, I think in yesterday's video, NVIDIA's just been like squeezing the crap out of people, right? Everyone wants to short this thing, all right? This thing is going to pay so much, but guess what? All right, it clearly has shown that it could just keep squeezing in the past, all right? Which is why you got to be cautious with these things. But when it finally goes, these, in like what I just showed you on over here on Apple, like these are the components here that are like set up to tank markets. All right. And I say Apple's set up to tank because, hey, if you do not break out, then I'm going to take off this 179 target right there. All right. Because it's been, you know, this, I don't think it's going to be hit. And actually, as of right now, with how QQQ is looking, how we already showed you guys that, I don't think Apple goes up there and really does that. I mean, but I also did say in yesterday's video, I am not this perma bear who thinks we're going to fall off a cliff here. I think we are going to have a decent sized pullback. And let's actually look at the smaller time frames to show you that. And oh, look at that IWM right there. You did have that you had that increasing you had the volume spike here, and I pointed out like this is where the bottoms end up forming. All right, we are coming down to make a new low after this increase in volume, and this is something that, guys, has not happened this whole time. All right, so like here you came down and held your low, and you had this decent sized rally there. All right, and then you come over here. No, you did end up dipping down the following weeks over here. All right, so that wasn't the end of that. Okay, so there was that, but you ended up having 214 over there, was where that close was, and then actually dipped all the way down to 209. All right, so that would be equivalent to 171 all the way down into like a $5 move down, so 166. All right, I'm just saying, I do think the downside is going to be limited. I think you'd probably get that buying pressure stepping in somewhere around here, and I think that's where we would then bottom. All right, so like, guys, I'm not a perma bear, all right? I'm just like, I'm being realistic right now with what I'm seeing on the charts, all right? I'm seeing clear as day downside. Let me go over here. I'm going to show you guys what I showed you guys on, I showed the Patreon last night, which, holy crap, it was up to like 2 a.m. last night. Nah, maybe 2:30, and then I had to wake up at freaking 6 something tonight. Oh, I'm running off like 4 something hours. I can't wait to start getting more sleep. Here we go. All right. SPX. All right. We're going to come over to the hourly time frame. And I understand you started having this rally. I get it. Okay. I get it. But I don't think this changes anything. I don't think you're gonna, like, you see that you literally went back up to this trend line, got rejected again. Are you kidding me? You got rejected again. All right. So what I'm gonna point out here is you have a right here. It's a 1.6. You just have your attention up here. All right. So 1.69% candlestick. All right. Well, we come over here and let's just find the next over 1.69% candlestick. I think it was right here. That was 1.35. All right, you have that going on there. All right, they're hard to find. All right, they are hard to find, but I think, oh, maybe it's right here. Nope, not here. Maybe it was that. Nope, 1.39. Oh, guys, we are not finding them. We're not finding them. I swear, I found like 3 occurrences that I showed. Right here, we have this one. Okay, so we're gonna mark you with that. All right, we're gonna come over here. We're gonna find the next one. All right, I'm gonna find the 3 that I found you guys yesterday. Right here. Look at that bad boy. Look at that bad boy. All right, and now you've rebounded. So I'm gonna be honest. Now even more downside is on the table. My personal opinion. Now that you had that rebound and it got rejected, I'm sorry about that for the second time. I guess I did not turn that off. All right, there you go right here. All right, and then we have that right here. All right, so we have another big one. We have another big boy right there. All right, now we'll disclude that one. All right, so right here, you went from before having a decent sized bounce, you went 1.2% down. Right here, before having your decent sized bounce, which we're going to call this thing, all right, you went another 4.86% down. Right here, all right, you went another 2% down. All right, guys, this is not looking pretty. That is what I'm getting at. It's not looking pretty. And you just rebounded back up, got rejected, formed a lower high. Do you see what I'm saying here? You see that? You're holding your trend. You're holding your trend. High, low, lower high, lower low. All right, so now even if we rebound from where we are right now, guys, I'm still looking for a lower high. I'm looking for rejection, all right, because we have just flipped the trend. I see it right before my eyes, all right, and I'm just going to point this out, all right, so you have this 1.69% candlestick. This is 1.6% away, all right. I just showed you guys, like, hey, if we're going to follow what we just had, we have a wide range here. We could fall 4%. We could fall 2 more percent. To bring us somewhere around over here, we could fall 1.6%. We could even come down here and hold this low here. All right, we could do that, but trend has already changed. All right, so yes, we're going to be looking for reaction spots here. I'm going to come over here to SPY just because that is what I trade, SPY and QQQ. So this is what we are going to be using here. But as you see, like, this is literally where the reaction is coming out of. It's right here. And what is happening? That is also what I want to know. This is crazy price action. Literally, what just happened, guys? Let me... Hang on. Something just happened. This is not something that is naturally just occurring. I can promise you that. Let's see what's happening. Let me just open my Twitter right now. 18-minute video. Let's try and make this thing at 25. Yellen prepared for additional deposit actions if warranted. Is that what is causing this? Probably. And guys, if you're in the Patreon, just know this is why I literally, before I started recording this video, this is why I alerted that I was taking profits on my March 31st puts. All right, because the possibility of that happening was there. All right, so there's that. Look at that. So we did end up getting a reaction there, but you did make the lower low there. All right. So now even if we pop back up, I'm looking for this high to hold. All right. So I'm going to be looking for sellers to step in somewhere underneath there. All right. So just letting you guys know that. But let's go over to QQQ and see what's going on here. All right. QQQ literally came down and again, like just like SPY, undercut its low over there. All right, and then we did rebound, but guess what, guys? All right, so let's just look at trend. All right, you have this high, you have this low, you have the high, you have the low, high, low, high. So you made the same high slash like a slightly lower high here, just like you did over here on SPY and SPX. All right, so that is something to note. Oh, and keep in mind, you came back up to that trend line. That is not, it's not good. The fact that you're getting that rejection is not good. And also, I'm going to reiterate what I just said. All right, in the beginning of the video, guys, this looks so ugly. Do you see these wicks here? You have back-to-back wicks. Let's just take a moment And first, let me do this. All right, but let's take a moment. Let's just go back to seeing where you had this candlestick form right here. All right, if we had any of these form, and then also another wick the following day, which I understand is only 3:02 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right now, so we do have a whole hour during power hour here for this candlestick to change, but it doesn't change anything for me. All right, well, I mean, hey, if we get some crazy bullish candlestick, and there's that, and look at that. All right, we are literally, we just came right back down. Did we? What is even happening? It's still going insane, guys. This is crazy. All right, what's going on right now? This is insane. That's why I was saying, like, hey, this is not just TA playing out. This is not. There's something pumping markets right now. Which is that? All right, it was, I guess it was Janet Yellen saying she was prepared for additional deposit actions. Breaking: Yellen now prepared for additional deposit actions if warranted. BBG. All right. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's all I'm seeing on Twitter. I guess that's literally all she said. And yeah, I mean, that is something like that goes along the lines of what I was saying in yesterday's video. Jerome didn't really give the candy to the baby. He didn't really take it away. It's the baby is just kind of left there sitting confused. Like, what do we do now? All right. Like, what do we do? All right. He pretty much told us that they're not backing down from their fight against inflation. They have the tools required to get inflation down to the 2% goal. And pretty much, he said anyone's a fool who thinks, in my words, all right, he pretty much came out saying that anyone's a fool who doesn't think that the Fed has the tools required to bring inflation down to their 2% goal. All right. Now, on top of this, he also, in my opinion, he like did a backhanded, I think he was trying to give confidence in the banking system, but the fact that they may need to step in, and he assured that they would do that, the fact that they would ever need to step in, that makes people assume, or it makes me assume at least, there is something going on behind the scenes that he knows that we don't. All right, so that's like that's a bearish factor right there. That is not an appreciating factor. That is deprecating. All right, so they told us that we're going to have no rate cuts for all of 2023. So I'm just going to tell you right now, all right? So this thing right here, all right? Well, it's calling complete BS on that, all right? I'm just saying this is not, like, yeah, I mean, hey, I told you guys not too long ago, all right? When this thing crosses the federal funds rate, that is when you finally have, let's go over, is it the monthly or the weekly we're looking at it? Come over here. All right. When this thing crosses down through that is when you get your pivot or your pause. All right. Well, guess what, guys? It's here. And now Jerome is doing, he's going against the bond market when the bond market is saying, like, hey, all right, like, this is when, like, you need to go back because you went too far, because if you keep going, you're going to cause a crash. Well, guess what? He's not listening to the bond market this time around. That's what I'm getting at here. All right. So, like, yeah, we could have some real rocky things ahead of us, but he also did tell us that, hey, all right, the banking system is not in crisis mode. All right, the liquidity is good. We've seen their balance sheet has increased by, I think it's 297 billion. All right, that is good. All right, for the like equities, that's good. All right, like if that correlation still holds, then yeah, all right, that increase makes equities go up. That's why, like, hey, saying back here, I was saying, like, hey, why not? Why fight the Fed? All right, if they just turn back on QE, there's that. But I've also seen some YouTube channels try explaining to me how that's not QE, and it's also not going to be inflationary. So, I mean, hey, I don't know, guys. That's why I say Jerome, like, he kind of told us about this whole scenario, and he leaves everybody feeling just completely confused, because now we know Jerome will step in. All right, so like that's why I say I don't think a crash is going to happen. He just told us it's not going to happen. All right, when this thing goes, it's going to really go. Like, it's going to be real bad. You're going to finally have, yeah. I'm just saying, guys. He told us pretty much we can't have a liquidity crisis right now, and a liquidity crunch is what I think. Well, I think it was a credit crunch over here in COVID. I went way too far back over here. All right. But this, I'm pretty sure this was a liquidity / credit crunch that was going on over here, and that influenced, that was the conditions that were at play that caused this, all right? And he just pretty much told us that we're not going to have that possibility. So I'm I'm just saying, and like I think this thing, yeah, I think this thing can pull back here. All right, I think this thing we probably get back down to extreme fear here. All right, but that's why I'm going to be wary on the short side here. I'm not going to be betting on a crash or anything. I'm going to be taking the profits as the market gives my profits. Because, yeah, I mean, because of what I'm showing you right here. And also, you come back over here to DIA's weekly time frame, and like, yeah, guys, all right, nothing changed. All right, we're still right here. Like, nothing has changed. And yeah, I do realize, right, IWM is now making that lower low. And you did make the, you had this 1 week over here. No, not over here, where 3 weeks later, you were from the low you made over here from 212. We'll round down there, 212. You came down to 208. So that's like $4 further down from that low. We'd be coming down to 166 over here. So that is what I'm going to be watching for. But guess what, guys? That's right around what's over here, all right? So what if we go down and set up a fat double bottom or something? I don't know, all right? So that's why I said I'm going to be cautious. I'm going to be taking the money as the market gives me money. And yeah, I guess that is it. If you guys would like to join the Patreon, link is down below. Would love to have you in there. And yeah, if you guys found value in this video, please support the channel. All right, pump the stock with a like. Help me reach some more people. And yeah, I guess that is it. I'm just saying, guys, when do you see these wicks next to each other? All right, you see them at tops. All right, you see when selling pressure is very apparent. All right, that is when you see these big wicks, and they're not typically followed. Like you see this big wick on the down, like on the bottom here. Well, guess what? It's followed by a big move up. All right, you got these two big wicks next to each other right here. Big move up. Two big wicks next to each other right there. Big move down. All right, well, we didn't get that big move down yet. All right, we have like, what is this, 315 down to 306. Yeah, it's a $10 move. I wouldn't call that the biggest move, though, compared to like, for the setup we're rocking with right now, I am expecting more downside. I'm just going to say that. All right, so before we sign off here, I'm going to come down over here to the lower time frame. Let's look at some reaction spots. All right, because I forgot, I don't think I went over the hourly time frame here. Watch where I was, or to point out where I was going to be watching for, you know, hey, this is where impulsive buying could step back in. This is where impulsive selling, like we either sell through these zones, these levels, or we bounce off these levels. All right, the first one I'm going to be watching is literally just right here. All right, so we can literally just put that on right here. All right, so this is going to be a spot right there. What is that, 35? Yeah, it's 35.50 all the way to 36. But if you do end up breaking that, guys, I'm going to be honest, I am 110% going to be looking for this zone down here to I think it's going to produce another bounce. And yes, we are going to I'm going to have this. All right, but what this can do, and I don't know if this is going to form, but what this can do is if we get a bounce here, there you go. All right, you have your head and shoulders. All right, and that would be a valid top reversal formation. All right, so this is what makes sense to me. All right, if this was to happen, hey, I'm all for it. I'm going to be playing it. All right, and honestly, I would expect something to happen like this. We already broke out of the rising wedge here on QQQ, and then SPX also had the rising wedge that it broke down from. It broke up before that, but then obviously, you know, you started impulsively selling through this. You got this, you started getting these closes, and then boom, all right, impulsive selling, all right, and now you rebounded, you got lower high, rejection at the trend line, all right, guys, you made your lower low as well on top of the lower high, so now we have a confirmation of like this micro trend reversal, all right, so now I'm really going to be looking for, let's come back over the 4-hour time frame, like I was saying, that macro trend, I guess, or that longer time frame trend, all right, so we have the high, the low, high, low, high. All right, we're going to be looking to literally come back down and test these lows, all right? So I'm going to put this on my chart real quick. All right, this is where I am anticipating price coming. Let's actually put this on, get rid of that. All right, and let me put this up right here. All right, so I guess this, if I had to say where buyers are going to step in, all right, it's probably going to be here. All right, which would be 386 to 388, and that's only if you get your close underneath this zone right here. All right, you would need a you're looking for an hourly close underneath this zone, all right, which so far you haven't had it, but you had an insane bounce there, and then boom, it clearly, again, it's the same exact pattern we're seeing right here with this bounce. You have no follow through. All right. It's not strength. All right. You came back, formed a lower high. Well, guess what, guys? Let's go to the smaller time frame. What is this? All right. But I'm actually going to say right now, all right, you see it's flipping right here. This is the support zone. All right. This is where you bounce that over here. All right. This is what I am expecting. Like, this is where I was like, literally just told the in the Discord, I said, like, if I'm going to be recording this video, I'm going to be taking my profits on my March 31st QQ puts. And it's because I thought, like, hey, this was going to be a spot where reaction could pop up, all right? And that's what I'm getting at. But if you start sinking through this, guys, you already lost it once, which, again, this is not strength, all right? You're losing these. Yes, you're getting some buying going on here, all right? You got this buying going on over here. But, yeah, with the lower high, it's not strength, all right? So you come back, take out this low. I'm looking for over here 386 to 388 on SPY. That is going to be the next reaction spot, in my personal opinion, that I am going to be watching. And yeah, with that being said, I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.